Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. Keia and I are going to discuss today 5 key things to look for when comparing mortgage quotes. So Keia, I know that you had mentioned that recently you've had clients who kind of have had to try to beat other quotes, and you realized from the beginning that you were already like beating the quote. So what's the first thing you think we should look for? I was thinking like interest rate. A lot of people don't even know how to read the interest rate or the APR.
So the reason why I think we need to talk about this is because every loan officer has a different format that they send you their quote in. So that's where people get confused because they're not identical to look side by side. So yeah, for sure, look at the interest rate that they're quoting for that day and try to get the quotes the same day, because interest rates fluctuate from day to day. So try to compare day to like the same day to each other. But yeah, interest rate is a big one to look at. Obviously, I think that one's pretty common. Like people pay attention to that. The other one would be if they're charging any discount points for that interest rate or an origination fee for that interest rate. Another thing to look at is the mortgage insurance. I don't think a lot of people realize that you can there's different mortgage insurance companies that you can get a better rate with.
Okay.
So compare those when you're looking at those. And the other thing, just look at the principal and interest payment, because usually if it's the full payment with taxes and insurance included, the loan officers are estimating what those will be because they don't know for sure until you have a property. So the principal and interest payment will give a good idea of where you're at with that.
Yeah, that's true, because tax rates vary no matter where, or depending on where you're at. So you can like be 3 blocks from a house and the tax rate could be different.
Yeah.
So that's you're just kind of guessing on the insurance and the taxes for now. And then you had mentioned about mortgage insurance. I don't think a lot of people realize that mortgage insurance it's actually an insurance company, just like any other company. So just like you would compare rates for your auto loan or your auto insurance or your home insurance, definitely depending on the company that supplies this mortgage insurance, the rates are going to be different. So I think people just think it's kind of a standard rate. And maybe that's because, certain loans like the FHA loan does have a standard rate, but when you're doing like a conventional loan, there's actually different numbers. So it's good to compare that. Now, as far as like the origination fee and the discount points are concerned, I don't think a lot of people also know that that is a thing, a lot of loan officers will quote you like a really good rate, but then you've got to actually pay for the rate. Do you want to just like quickly explain what that means? Like, what it means?
The difference between the two?
Yeah.
Okay, so a discount point is you're basically buying your interest rate down. So that fee would be to get your interest rate to whatever it is that they quoted you. An origination fee is a fee directly to the loan officer. And some people charge those to get your interest rate down, but then that interest rate will sometimes come with a credit to help cover that origination fee. So I'm not saying an origination fee is bad, just kind of pay attention to, like, for example, the quote that I gave the other day, he was asking me to try and beat this guy's quote, which I had already done. He just didn't realize because I had given a very detailed quote and this guy had given just like the very basics. And so my interest rate was 1/8% lower than his, and I was not charging an origination fee or a discount point. There was actually I think there was like a $350 credit towards his closing costs with that rate, and his was 1/8% higher, and he was charging like a $2,500 discount point.
Oh wow!
So he didn't realize that. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not really sure how the guy missed that, but that's kind of how this whole thing came about because. He just didn't, my format was different than this guy's, and it was so different that it just confused him, and he didn't know what was what. So,
now that we're on the subject, that's something good to mention too, because obviously like the guy didn't explain it to him very well.
Yeah.
So I feel like communication on as a whole is worth money. What do you think about that?
True. I agree with that completely. I would say when you call and talk to somebody to get a quote, definitely pay attention to how they explain things to you. Because if you don't understand what they're saying and they don't put it in a way that makes complete sense to you, like this is your mortgage, not theirs, you need to be comfortable with it. It might be worth it to pay a couple $100 more in fees to go with another loan officer that explains things better.
Yeah, you probably don't want to regret service, like,
yeah.
They say you get what you pay for. And I totally try not to be that loan officer. Like, I'm going to give you service no matter what I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people out there are so just into the dollars and cents and really trying to beat all the quotes. But then they're like, well, I'm hardly going to get paid anything on this deal. So, I'm not going to do any work,
Yeah.
I experience
and sometimes people's communication skills are just not great. And honestly, I say this because I was a processor for so long, processing the loans and doing all of the paperwork and the numbers side of these things, that I think I understand them a little bit better than some loan officers do. So some of these loan officers, I mean, they're just salesmen, really. I don't want to say that like rudely, but some of them don't really understand the intricacies of a loan. So they're not going to be able to explain it to you in a way that you understand it. So it's like, I don't know. You just got to be careful with the loan officers you choose, I would say, just because you have to work with them for about 30 days.
Yeah, at least 30 to 60, depending on how long you're.
To get like the biggest purchase you've ever made in your life done. So it's important that communication is solid.
Totally. Cool. So yeah, I think that was a really actually great subject for us to talk about, because
for sure.
It's definitely one of those things that people are just completely confused on and, don't really have any prior knowledge. I mean, unless you're a loan officer, you're not going to know what these things mean. So good. I'm glad that you explained that to us. So
yeah,
cool. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining Keia and myself today. Our goal is to help you make the mortgage process simple. If you're ready to apply for a mortgage loan, or maybe you're thinking about buying in the near future and want to see what you can qualify for, go ahead and click on the link below and apply today. Please be sure to choose either Keia Blake or myself, Monica Brito, as your mortgage loan officer. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to us via email. Our email addresses are posted below. And if you would like to follow us on social media, you can follow us at the below handles either on Facebook or Instagram. If you like the information that we're giving you today, be sure to like and share, and we will talk to you soon.